What's up, YouTube? It's Rock Combo, and today I'm bringing y'all Black Ops 2 gameplay. I'm playing Headquarters on Overflow, and this is in the Mercenary Mosh Pit. I wasn't playing with anybody, and if you're not playing with anybody, I highly recommend that you do Mercenary because Black Ops 2 has a lot to do with teamwork and having a team. And so if you're playing by yourself, it makes it really hard because a lot of times you'll go in a it's just hard to play objective games and it's like 1-on-6, or you might have a couple confident teammates, but that makes it a lot harder, the game much more frustrating. And at the beginning of this game, I'm struggling a little bit. I have an assault rifle on, and it's just not doing work, and hopping on objectives, and just can't get the capture at the beginning. But then I switched to an SMG and start playing better. I ended up with 58 kills and 22 defends, so I was defending that objective like a champ. And so it's pretty good gameplay. I like this map. I've always liked objective gameplays. I've never been able to play TDM or kill confirmed even can be just like TDM. I mean, it pretty much is. You have to collect tags, but it's those two game types I've never been a huge fan of. It's just too slow paced, and I like to have an objective and something and it's a lot easier to kind of figure out where the opponents are whenever there's actually an objective to go capture, because there's different routes and stuff, and I like that much better. And this guy has attack insert, so I just killed him, so I figured I could just get an easy kill right back on him. Most of the time, whenever someone has attack insert, I always just cancel it or crush it or whatever you call it. But since I killed him right then, I knew and it's not there's not like a 10 to 15 second delay in the spawn or until his next spawn, his next respawn. So I thought I could get an easy kill, but it got smashed by some type of rocket or something. And you see I'm using these shock charges right here with the Type 25. The shock charges in this game are so OP. They're so much better than concussions or stuns. And so you should definitely try out the shock charges. I mean, I might get a little hate for that, but it's definitely powerful and awesome. And then I'm gonna switch to my SMSC. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, the submachine gun, and start doing some work on that. So you'll see that here shortly. And so the topic of the day though is, did you see those college football games yesterday? And if you don't know, if you're a new sub or whatnot, I'm a senior at the University of Alabama, huge Alabama football fan, huge college football guy, and oh my gosh, man, it was so depressing being at that. I was sitting there at the 25-yard line of the Texas A&M game, and we ended up losing to Johnny Football or JFF or whatever you want to call him. The kid is a beast. I thought he was just a bona fide intramural quarterback, but he actually has a pretty decent arm on him. And I was really impressed with what he could do. We definitely didn't come to play our A game, and you can't do that 2 straight weeks. And it kind of shows, like, with all that talent you losing in the NFL, it's so hard to recreate, because last year our defense made the history books with only giving up like 9 points a game, and it was unbelievable. So it's pretty tough to lose top 4 picks in the top 35 and have that same chemistry and experience and whatnot. So we really missed Mark Barron in that game, and then Hightower and Upshaw on the ends, not letting Johnny Football break containment. But anyways, so we lose that game, and then so we fall to number 4. So we have to have 2 of the top 3 teams lose to be able to make it back to the championship game. I'm at a buddy's house, and we're all saying weird things are gonna happen, are in the air tonight. Some weird things are gonna happen, and what do you know? K-State is just getting blown out by Baylor. They kind of show their true colors. I love Bill Snyder and what he's done for that program in his second and maybe even third stint there. He's done some awesome things, but they have pretty much nothing bunch of JUCO players playing on that team. Look at this. Oh yeah, coming up right here is a nice little thing right here. So I have a lightning strike, and I'm waiting to call it. I was thinking about calling it right there, but all of our guys are set up really nicely, and I didn't want to just waste it. So I'm kind of sitting back here, making sure they don't flank us, and then also waiting for some of my teammates to die. So when they rush the headquarters, hopefully get a 3 or 4 piece, maybe even 5. Who knows? And so that's what I do. And look at that guy, triple. Just wait for it. There we go. The quad piece. Look at that. Look at that kill feed. That's a beautiful kill feed. And I'm like, oh man, that's awesome. So now it's just 1-on-6. I'm gonna try to do some work here. Try to pull a little sneak attack. Wait for them to get it on and whatnot. I'm looking for that guy that was coming around to the left side. I see him right there. Boom, get 1, get 2. Let's go, baby. I think that's like 8 or 9 defense right there. I had to reload my weapon, and the guy came around. Just, you know, too many people right there. So that was good. Nice little. That's why I like headquarters, man. It can be loads of fun, especially when you have a couple people in your party playing with you. And this War Machine kill streak or score streak is awesome for objectives. Like if you play hardpoint or headquarters or like even like demolition, man, that thing can go ham turkey on you, and it's definitely worth it, especially if you play competitive. You know how they haven't banned the score streaks yet. You know, my personal preference is like spy plane counter guardian or spy plane guardian War Machine. Dude, this thing is just beastly. Look at that bad boy. And so yeah, so let's get back to it. So I needed 2 of the three teams to lose. You know, Kansas State ends up getting blown out by Baylor, and Oregon shows its true colors whenever the formula to beat Oregon is you have to control the line of scrimmage. Those small offensive linemen, you can't let them get those big alleyways for D'Anthony Thomas, Kenny Barner, and all these running backs and pretty quick quarterbacks. And you know, they were able to control the line of scrimmage. You know, I didn't think Stanford was going to be able to actually beat Oregon because of, you know, they're a little slow on the perimeter. They have a good front seven, but in the past, you know, they just haven't been able to make the tackles in space. And they had an awesome defensive game plan, and their defensive line and linebackers just took over that game and just shut them down. And you know, it just shows that, like, people think all these offenses are unstoppable, but at the end of the day, defense wins championships. Defense wins because your offense is going to have a couple bad weeks or subpar games, your quarterback subpar games, and you're going to have to rely on that defense to get the job done. Oregon's defense played a pretty good job against Stanford. Granted, Stanford doesn't have the greatest offense. Their quarterback is not the best, but he had a pretty good game. And so, like, to all the Oregon fans out there, man, like, you know, y'all talk so much trash about how Alabama's, you know, bad, no offense, blah blah, our defense is bad, you know, all this stuff, and then the next week you lose, and same thing. I don't know, man. It's just funny, all the haters out there that hate on Alabama. But anyway, so Oregon loses to Stanford in overtime, and you know, Chip Kelly, I think, you know, if he would have kicked the field goal in the first quarter, but that's kind of his style of play. So same thing with Les Miles, like, you know, if you don't like him going for a 4th down and whatnot, give me that. Yeah, I love that secondary. Then, you know, that's your team, man. And that's kind of the style of play they go with. Their kicker, I think now 2 years in a row, just killed them out of some key wins. So that's a big bummer. But your quarterback looked rattled there at the end of the game in overtime. He was off. He wasn't looking too hot, my friend. But anyway, so those 2 teams lose, and we are back to number 2 and on pace to play Notre Dame, which will be awesome. I would love to play Notre Dame. We owe them revenge from the past. Like 30 years ago, we ended up winning all of our games, and they had a tie game, and they ended up winning the national championship over us. The writers gave it to them over us, so we deserve some payback on them. And I cannot wait for that showdown. That is, if we can get past Georgia, which Georgia is no slouch. That's gonna be a tough game. Aaron Murray, though, he's been pretty inconsistent in big games. They can throw up some duds, but they have some studs on defense. I think they have like 7 defensive players projected in like the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. They have some talent. I mean, Georgia, Mark Richt has underperformed his whole career there because Georgia is just beast, man. They have so much talent in that state, that Peach State. Some also awfully lot of pretty ladies there too, I might add. But so that's gonna be an awesome showdown between the number 2 and 3 team in the nation in 2 weeks in Atlanta. Hopefully I can make it down there, get a ticket for the game. I didn't qualify for student tickets. I didn't have enough hours at the university, which is crazy considering I'm a senior. But anyway, so defending this headquarters like a champ. You can't kill me. Triple right there. But yeah, so it's gonna be an awesome end of the season. And for godthumbz, who has been talking so much trash about Alabama and how we lost, you know, and now he's talking about how we match up really well against Notre Dame and how Notre Dame is going to kill us. He sent me literally probably 30 messages through text, through email, through Xbox. I mean, literally at least 30 messages saying how bad Alabama is and how great Notre Dame is, God's gift to earth, and how Notre Dame is absolutely going to rock Alabama national championship game in Miami. But we have something coming for you, man. Notre Dame can barely beat Pitt, can barely beat, oh man, so many different teams. Like, I mean, so I cannot wait to destroy godthumbz and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish by 24 points. I project us to win by if we ended up playing them. First, we really do have to beat Georgia, and that's so we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's gonna be a tough game. But godthumbz, I'm calling you out right here, right now. I'll bet you $150 straight up if Notre Dame and Alabama match up in the national championship game. So I'm calling you out right here. I can't wait to hear your response, and I will see you on the sticks. Roll Tide. Also, thumbs, put your money where your mouth is. Over 30 messages, I think you can put 150 spot on that one. Roll Tide, thumbs. Let's hear your response.